Emergency Power Podcast. You've made it through another week, so go ahead and sit on down and charge up with, there appears to be a dragon in my chair. It's collected several of my pajama pants and a toaster, and those are my headphones. It's a baby defined gold.
Turnabout's fair play.
Yeah, they're so cute. I can't move them, so go ahead and sit on down and charge up with Cargo-01.
Yes, we kept the name.
We keeping the -01. I thought it was just cargo.
No, it's its full name. Cargo-01.
Yeah, I was doing first and last name. Yeah.
It's almost exactly like having a house cat, except it's got flight and a breath weapon. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
So how is it different?
Oh god, the hairballs.
No, cats have a climb speed, not a fly speed.
It just coughs up
Maybe your
flaming
cat,
hairballs.
mine launches through the air.
Oh no.
Oh, no. It has projectile weapons.
Nothing is safe from this animal.
So do you get an opportunity attack to scoop it before it shoots its projectiles?
I was gonna say this is little purple cat, but as I zoom in, it's not purple at all.
Yeah, it's like teal with some purple to it, and it's got like
a purple like
I think
aura.
Neopet was the description.
Lisa Frank?
And
Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank Neopet,
Lisa Frank cat dragon.
Lisa Frank Neopet is, yes.
Cat dragon.
Yes,
Google
but they
Lisa
are
Frank cat
adorable
dragon.
and has already been adopted by both Script and Para. So it's too
You didn't
late.
get much of a choice in the matter, to be fair.
You didn't step back, so
Yeah, no, part did not sense it back, and Scriff just didn't.
I'm not sad about this.
no, it's adorable and will only make things better. There could never be problems with something that
I am so glad we did not open that thing before we went into that big fight. Can you imagine?
That would have been horrible.
Could have helped.
Yeah, I would have gone.
Yeah, it could have
helped.
We could have had two funerals.
Extra ally.
It's okay. Still small
Either
enough to
you
be
would have
consumed,
left
so it's
it
no
on the
problem.
ship and it would have destroyed everything in there, or you would have taken it in and it would have gotten killed.
You know, Brandon would have dropped the grenade and the cat dragon would have just batted it out of the way so that Brandon wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
Neither would the tiefling.
True.
Everyone just looks down like, what is happening right now?
Could you imagine the dervish imprinting itself upon the dragon?
No.
Nope.
That's a good idea.
Mark,
I
stop
love
talking.
it.
Yes.
Keep all your alternate realities away from our reality.
Never.
Giving me all the ideas, Mark. Thank you. Put that one in the bank for later.
Speaking of alternate realities, I can't wait to meet Omega Chief Uzi Puffwood.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Omega Chief Uzi Pusswood.
Oh my gosh. I
Don't
mentioned
want that.
this in the afterburner, but I was laughing so hard I literally had to mute myself or it would have like overloaded the entire track. It was so funny. Okay. Well, I think it's time we get this started, don't you all? Let's do it. A spaceship drifts aimlessly as it releases a small coffin into the blackened ink of space, a solemn send-off for a good friend. As the lost one floats out among the stars, their troubles lay behind them now. Only rest lies ahead.
Oh.
Sadly, such is not so for the second-hand crew.
Dang it.
No, for them the future is a deadly antagonist towards which they hurtle relentlessly. In the Tomes of Emergency Power, Volume 3, Chapter 12.
Oh my gosh, that's so many.
That's so
lot of
many
chapters.
chapters.
Congrats, guys.
Okay, so before we get started, I wanted to first tell you all how wonderful the ceremony was. It was very heartfelt, and it even got me all misty-eyed, and Brandon will be missed. Now, usually, when people do noteworthy RP, I reward them with something like a space popsicle. However, this wasn't just one person, this was everyone. So, I have something special to give the second-hand crew, just as they gave something special to the world. Mark sacrificed a character that he really enjoyed to save the day. And a lot of times in tabletop games, deaths can just be like a drop in the bucket, and then we move on. But you guys made it into something wonderful. So, in honor of that, I'm introducing a new mechanic. And not like the mechanic Scriff, like not that kind of mechanic.
I thought I was going to get upstaged right here.
My character's
I'm
not a
introducing
mechanic.
a new mechanic. They're better than Scriff in every way.
Oh, dang it, Palma! Every time.
2 power armors.
Who else gets upgraded if we kill someone?
Super Scriff. All right. And this new mechanic I am calling second-hand feats. These feats I will hand out only when I feel they are truly earned, and this is no low bar.
Second
So
feats?
how this works, second-hand feats, or like reused feats.
Oh, somehow worse now.
Yeah.
Pre-owned feet.
Are they,
Your older
are
siblings.
they well scrubbed?
Pre-owned feet.
Bunch of ways to think about that.
They've been sanitized. That's fine.
Yeah.
So the way this works,
All the scratches
We
were
broke the jam.
removed.
It's like going to a bowling
whoever
alley.
is part of the second-hand crew will have access to these feats. As long as someone is inducted into the team, they may utilize it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, they function a lot like other feats might. That being said, here's what you've earned. When an AoE effect would cause harm to one of the crew, an adjacent member may use their reaction to dive in the way and take the effect.
Nice.
Therefore, the protectee will make no save and take no damage. The protector will roll both saves for both sets of damages. In essence, they forego their attempt to escape harm to save the other from suffering.
Wow.
This feat can be used once per crew member per long rest. Like all feats, it is
Pretty good.
situational. So this could be very useful if, say, you're grouped up and a grenade comes your way and one person's got 3 health and another has 30. So that person can jump in the way and keep the low health person in the fight.
So we
Nice.
both dive, trying to protect each other. We end up missing.
That's right.
And just
Cancel
following
each
where the
other
other
out.
person was.
And just to be sure I'm clear on the mechanics, the person who dives onto the grenade would make 2 saves and take 2 instances of the full damage, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has high potential damage to the person doing the save, but at the same time, it might keep people up in a fight.
I'm assuming this is immune to evasion if you intentionally take the damage, right?
Can't really
I
escape
mean, I
it.
was kind of wondering, but I didn't want to say anything.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask.
Finally, this feat is called Protection Masters.
Oh.
In honor of
My
Brandon
brother.
Master's sacrifice.
Like,
Your brother
nice.
protection.
Nice.
I'm happy for you all. I can already do that. But that's okay.
To be clear,
is-
is
it's
it,
good
we
to
can
have
use
that.
it once each, or it can only be used by one person one time per short rest?
Once each per day.
Okay. Oh, per day. Okay.
For long
Yep.
rest.
or per
yeah.
long rest, which is
Long rest, technically.
Might as well be a day, but yeah.
No, that should be
All
good.
right. The second hand drifts aimlessly, loosing free the beautiful coffin that carries Brandon's body on its endless journey. The crew disbands the funeral and sets their minds on the tasks ahead.
Who wants to go first?
Go, Jeff.
Yeah.
Do things.
What a great time that was.
The funeral?
I don't think that's how you're supposed to talk about funerals.
This beautiful funeral, Scriff just sang this song of his people, and then Koto's like,
That's what I wanted
all
to
right,
do. Okay,
cool,
yeah.
cool.
So
You want to
Koto
sing the
will-
song again?
Koto, I would actually absolutely love for you to
"Take
sing the song
these
again.
silver pieces."
Yes, dude, I was singing that all yesterday. It was so. Oh my god, it was in my head all day. But no, Koto will approach Scriff and say, "Hey, that song was really nice. I really liked it.
Oh, Taki, my mother used to sing it to me when I was a kid.
I have this weird little habit of trying to learn a song in every universe that I hop to. Would you be willing to teach it to me?"
Of course.
She reaches into her backpack and pulls out what appears to be just like a long stick, maybe the size of like a mini bow staff, and then she extends it, and then out essentially pops from the backside of it pops a bunch of strings, and then a little mini speaker on the bottom side, and you see that it's a compactable bass guitar.
Oh, you meant right now. Okay.
Oh, is that
Sure.
not appropriate?
It's fine. I'd be happy to.
Just finished the funeral. Can we go do a music lesson? You got time now, right?
Right now, right? I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I need to get warmed up. Okay, yeah. I'll come get you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Listen, that's enough time for a moment of silence. No problem.
That is enough time because Griff is going to go over and talk to Nima.
All right. Just like pat Koto on the shoulder, like, yeah, great.
I'll
Just
see you
walk
soon.
off.
So Griff walks over to Nima.
Okay. So Nima's seemingly not sure exactly what to do with herself. You guys are on the ship with the entire Dovetail family. It's like 5E is watching after the more bad off ones, and the others are just kind of wandering around or curled up in a ball. So she's trying to move back and forth to see what she can do, but she doesn't have that much she can help with. So you just kind of catch her in the middle of walking between rooms.
Okay. And yeah, he'll walk up beside her and touch her on the shoulder, says, Nima, I'm so sorry. This is all my fault.
She looks over at you and kind of picks up what you're trying to say. Look, you made a bad judgment, but you can't put this on yourself. It was that Pashingwala.
Yeah, but this never would have happened if it weren't for me. I was so focused on my work. I was out of money, and then this man comes along.
It's like Papa would say, the past is for remembering, not for the living. You can't change what has already happened.
Scriff hears this, and he thinks for a second. I can't change the past. Yes, of course, you're right.
She catches you just staring off into the middle distance for a second, tilts their head, just kind of shakes it off. Well, where will we go now?
Well, we have someone on Triaxis. They work for the IDF, and I think you'll be safe there. I don't think it's safe at home anymore.
Nods her head. Well, wherever we end up, you should be there too. Put all this behind you. We'll get Twiz and Feather to a clinic, and we take care of our own.
Scriff, looks down to the ground, twiddles his thumbs a little bit before responding. I can't. Not yet.
Scriff Dovetail, after all that's happened, you would leave again? Your family needs you.
I know, but the best way for me to be there for you is not to be there. Dervish is still alive, and I need to find him before he finds you again.
She just stares at you for a couple seconds. How is that even possible?
I don't know. Maybe magic, maybe something worse.
We're in a bigger mess than I thought.
But don't worry, I'll look after Twiz and Feather. They won't find better healers in a clinic than Pawns and NR5E. Besides, Kopeng Lauda Desh family too, which translates to friends are family too. And I'm still needed here.
Fine, but you better not let anything happen to them.
Don't worry, I'll keep them safe. We all will.
She looks from one side to the other, looks over towards the room where 5E is tending to at least 3 of them in there, and gives a nod. Well, I should get about what I was doing.
You should get some rest. You've been through a lot too.
She sighs and then's like, I'm sure I'll find some time, and starts walking off. All right, who's next? Keep them coming, keep them coming.
Are any of the younger Isoki like about looking like just feather or whatever?
Yeah. First off, the twins are moving around. One of them still looks pretty beat up, but they're kind of sharing almost war stories, like pointing out each other's scars, like, oh man, that's a good one. How did you lose your ear? My gosh.
Yeah. Okay.
And there are a few others wondering about yet.
I was gonna try and distract them, or at least shit them up a little bit by having them do tricks with Cargo, or trying to teach Cargo some tricks.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check for
sure.
Cargo.
Oh, survival. It's an 8.
You try to get Cargo towards the twins to see if it'll distract them and cheer them up. And Cargo just kind of meanders in that general direction for a second, and then beelines it towards upstairs and starts running up and around. And you hear something in one of the rooms, probably Scriff's
Workshop.
up in Griff's workshop, and you hear something crash.
Cargo's got the zoomies.
No! Back at the twins. Like, we are working on a piece. They will come around.
Wow.
Just hear in the background.
That's part of the piece. It's nothing to worry about, or to tell Scriff about if he asks.
Oh no.
They both look at each other for a second, look at you, and then wink.
Winks back, but badly, like double eyes blink slow. But there's two of them, so they wink at each one with one eye each.
Sense.
Good talk. I'm going to clean.
You head
so
upstairs and you go and try to find whatever's broken and fix it inside the
Yeah, there's
workshop.
definitely more breaking noises. You know when you try and catch like a cat and just gets under everything else? If I'd left Cargo, probably nothing else would have broken. Definitely more things damaged now.
Yeah, you run in there, and as you try to chase Cargo around, they run up and get inside of Scriff's armor and just like huddle in there.
We need a little
Yes.
bell on a stick.
Good luck getting
And
that
every
armor
time you
now.
reach up, they like bat at your hands.
Kitty fishing pole.
Yeah,
Wait, how big is the dragon again?
like the size of a dog.
Yeah, they're about the size of a dog, so small creature, basically.
Small Dagron.
So is it around the same size as Scriff?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's piloting the armor. Just a sleeping dragon in the armor.
Awesome.
You leave it there long enough, it will fall asleep inside the armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
nice and
Scriff.
warm.
I go. No. Scriff will not be happy with this. Come. We will go back to the twins. try to scoop it out. I guess you know what? I'll form like a dangly thing out of one arm. Like I'll extend my finger so it's a dangly cat toy.
Just out of a small opening, one little clawed paw reaches out and starts hitting at it.
This is so much trouble.
This is going to end well.
Ours just going to become the cat toy.
Power takes the form of a cat tree most of the time.
Alright, so that's gonna take Paris some time.
Yeah, Power's stuck in Scriff's room, desperately trying to get his thing out before Scriff comes back.
Yeah, while that is going on, Pons has found a corner to sit and float in.
Sit and float?
Yeah, sit and float. He's kind of wrapped his legs up in, a pretzel style, but he's floating in the corner. Yeah, and Jeff, could we get some music, maybe? Yeah.
Is there not music playing?
Oh, some
no.
specific
We need
music.
a very
Specific music.
type of music.
Yes.
When Pons has something to say.
Oh gosh. You need the Pawns Pondering.
It's time for Pawns Ponderings, Pawns Ponderings. What did he learn today?
All right, so yeah, Pons is kind of wrapped up, and he pulls out his voice recorder, and he just starts kind of rambling to himself for a little bit, and then gets to a spot and is like, so I, Pons, flew through space once again to arrive at a beautiful moon resort. The setting was themed just for the second-hand crew. All of Scriff's family members were invited. Scriff's old boss, along with NR5E's nephew, hosted for us. However, some at the party, it was over very quickly for Swarkus made a swift exit after being shown the fruit garden. Scriff's family did not appreciate the religious practices, so we escorted them back to the ship. Everything seemed to devolve after I touched some glyphs inside a fireplace, because next thing I remember, and I just see Brandon died, I almost died, Scriff almost dies, and we hadn't even seen Nerian's lab in the back yet. So then everyone's biggest fan bird comes crashing through the roof. We hatch a baby dragon and send Brandon's body on the longest game of space catch that you can play. Yeah, this is a rather confused Pons. So for now, I hope to see Nerians again soon and gain some insight into where we're going next. And
This is the best blog post I've ever seen.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yes, ring that bell.
Yeah, Pons out. See you next time.
I always love a good Pawns Pondering.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It lightens my life.
And Pons would actually like to walk up to Soul after that. Just kind of look at him like, are you part of like some evil organization sent to like kill leaders of planets or something?
Me? Not
I was just a thought that passed through my brain.
at the moment. Why do you ask?
Oh, okay.
I'm not getting paid nearly enough for that.
Oh, it's just something, yeah, whispers heard in passing out of your mouth. I wasn't sure what was going on. It could have been an awesome story to hear, but yeah.
Soul is going to lean down and put both hands on Hans's shoulders and say, "Thank the gods, someone here actually listens to me. Thank you, Pons."
I have very good perception.
We are going to talk more. You were fast. You know that. You're fascinating. You just became more interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go see what Scriff's working on. And I'll head out.
Speaking of heading out, you guys are currently just drifting through aimless space. What is the plan? Where do you guys intend to go to? And when will you be making your drift jump?
I don't like those little evil jazz hands you do, Adam.
Jazz hands.
The evilest
I
of
think we should
jazz.
I think we should go ahead and plot a course for the IDF rendezvous now, which, as I understand it, is in the Triaxis system. Is that correct?
Traxxas is the planet.
It's in
right,
Pack
that's
World
the planet
system.
within the
Triaxis is one of the planets
Richard.
they're in.
You don't know the Starfinder map at the back of your hand? Gall.
Piloting check to get us where we're going is going to be a 32.
Nice.
Nice.
And then 5E will be heading back through the ship to sickbay, which would offer a chance for anyone to interact if they want to. Otherwise, he's going to check on the Ahsoki and Marani before going back to Swarkus.
I think Soul will fall into step with you as you're heading towards the sickbay. How are they doing?
Stable for the most part. Marani has not yet regained consciousness. None of them have. I can't particularly ascertain the condition of the two that have been tainted by the dervish's genetic experiments. The young female has experienced significant subdermal and muscular trauma.
Don't call her female. That's creepy. Don't do that.
Apologies. I have been updating report logs.
Thank you. I have a question before we step back in, and they'll kind of pull 5E to a stop right before the sickbay doors. Myrani, you're his protector, yes?
That is correct. I was assigned to his family.
Do you want to be his friend? Is friendship important to you? It's two very different questions. It's all right, either way.
It is my will that we form a bond and a friendship, but I also acknowledge that that may not be possible, whether through circumstance or through a lacking in my own programming.
Some unsolicited advice, then?
I'm listening.
And Soul will lean in and drop their voice further and say, "You know he's a wealth of information about the dervish. If you want a friendship, don't ask him about him. Don't let your friends ask either."
Ooh.
I would think that the moment we make contact with the IDF, they will want to question him, if he is capable of it.
They don't need to know about him, do they?
I'm not entirely certain that the matter is up to me.
Well, I'm quite capable of lying our way out of this, if you are so inclined, but 5E, keep in mind, this is a child who was brought up with every ounce of his love and affection having to be earned, based off his value, based off of what he could give to the dervish. If you want a real relationship with him, you have to be the anti-dervish.
It is not my desire to keep him constrained here if he does not wish to remain with us, but he would have to be assigned to a guardian whom we can trust to protect him.
I don't think you understand me. I think you're his one link to what might have been a few fleeting years of happiness. I want you to stay with him, but I simply wanted to know what your priorities were.
My Ronnie Kerdan remains my primary protectee. Seeing him to adulthood, safely, educated, nurtured, it remains my primary driving force. And I do not always understand the humanoid concept of family, but I am fairly certain that Olivier and Lassynth are the closest thing that I have ever had to that, at least until I met this crew.
Aww.
One more thing. I think you should see to trying to get his childhood home rebuilt. Even if he doesn't want to return there, the dervish took that from him, to punish him somehow. I don't understand it all, but that was in his diaries. I'd like you to suggest it.
I will mention it to my Ronnie once he is conscious and capable of making such decisions. If need be, we will establish contact with the VI back on the moon. Perhaps it can do something useful.
I tried to speak with it. It was, I hate computers. No, I'm not sure if that's offensive. I hate computers. I can't reason with them. I can reason with you. It's quite...
No offense taken. That VI has always been a thorn in my side.
He's not pleasant at all. And 5e, you know he's going to be a bloody terror, yes?
The treatises on childhood psychology I have read indicate that is the case, yes.
He's going to do everything he can to push you away. Don't let him. That's when he's going to need you most.
I will endeavor to perform to the optimal parameters of my programming. Thank you, Saul.
Optimal, but you know you're adorable, right? And they're gonna go to step into the med bay.
5e cocks his head to the side. You hear the servo word.
Little eyebrows form question marks.
Join our Discord today to gain access to the NR5E Uwu emoticon case lovingly designed.
It's not the bane of Richard's existence.
Exist.
So, Sol is going to follow 5e into the med bay and just suddenly stop cold. Be like, what are you doing? And rush over, and unless 5e actively stops them, is going to start taking the restraints off of Myrani.
Okay, those restraints are on all of the ones that have been genetically tainted.
Leaving those.
It is necessary to restrain them in case the dervish takes possession of their bodies again.
Oh, wait, those two. This is different. Why are you. 5e?
We have not yet ascertained that there is any difference.
There is absolutely a difference. Look at them. Do you see horns or red skin growing on him?
He has described physical changes, whether resulting.
Sorry.
The days of puberty.
You saw the part where all his arms popped out and he became a human tripod, right?
Yeah. The diaries we recovered from the data centers on the moon indicate that he has undergone severe physical changes. We have witnessed it ourselves firsthand.
Not in a tank. Not the way they were. He was activated. He wasn't possessed.
I do not understand your usage of the term activated, but it makes no difference. I am not a doctor of genetic sciences. This is a question that Nerians must answer.
5e, he has spent, by what you all have said, 7 years in bondage to this individual. You're going to make him wake up in shackles?
You raise a good point. Remove the restraints. But I will be keeping sedatives handy.
Of course. And Sol will remove the restraints, and seeing the, I assume you left the vitamin D ointment.
Mm-hmm.
Will sit down and start tending to the scars with a very distant expression.
5e notices you doing that and says, "Thank you for the assistance." I'm assuming none of the patients have yet regained consciousness, Adam?
Not yet. It's been like a half an hour since things happened, so...
If you would be so kind as to keep an eye on things here, Saul. I must see to Sworkus. His trauma is now highest priority, I'm afraid.
I've got this. Take care of yourself as well. We all took a bit of a shaking back there.
Agreed. I have noticed that some of my circuits are not performing properly. Perhaps I should have Scriff look at them. All right, and 5e goes back to Sworkus' room to check on him.
Okay. So this conversation happens as you guys shift into the drift. I'm going to need a roll for the time that it takes to get from where you are to the Pact World system. Fortunately, because Absalom Station is there, you guys aren't going to have quite as long a time as you might have otherwise. So, 5e, if you would give me a 1d6 plus 3, please.
Ooh, it's gonna be a while.
That's a 6, Bob.
Yeah.
This broken drift.
Oof.
So take this broken drift.
No.
Yes. When is the emergency power podcast cover band starting?
I think we just started it, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're working on our demo tape right now.
So we can get some long rests in, Adam? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, so you guys have 6 days to do things before you get into the Pact World systems. So you can, right now, give yourself 6 long rests worth of recovery.
Jeez.
And then you can tell me what you guys would like to do during that time while on this ship.
So Koto tries to find a place in the ship where she can sit down, kind of make her own. I don't know if she's going to get her own room or if she's going to be sharing an area with everyone else, but
I think it's a quote of Richard. Oh, goodness, no. There's not enough room for that. Are you kidding me?
Right. So she's gonna just be chilling, I guess, with all of the Yosoki siblings for a while. At some point, she walks by a mirror and sees that she's just in her armor. And she was like, oh man, in all this commotion, I forgot about this. She holds her right hand up in front of a mirror, and then a little holographic display appears around her wrist. And then she begins rotating it. And as she does, her armor completely begins changing appearance.
Cool.
To just the different types of street clothes. As you can see her trying to pick out an outfit. Maybe after about 10 to 15 minutes of doing so, she lands on an outfit that has fitted black pants. She has a tank top that kind of exposes just a little bit of midriff. And then over that tank top, she wears a black leather jacket. And the entire look of her armor is completely gone. And the closest thing I could imagine would be from the 1980s era Storm from the X-Men, with like the mohawk and then that outfit right there.
Okay.
That is a vast improvement over a chitinous shrinky-dink cow.
Exactly. But yeah, so she turns around. She turns around to the other Yosoki and she says, "How does this look?"
So the other Yosoki are just kind of spaced out at this point, pun not intended. But they look over and give you like a weak smile and a little thumbs up. Yeah, it looks great.
She then goes and sits down with the Yosoki and tries to ask them information about this universe's history and trying to see what's been going on for the past few years. And I think like that's how she's going to spend most of her time, is trying to get to know what's been going on in this universe through them. She probably, I don't know how often Scriff comes in and checks on them, but I think she would try to make some friends over here with this little group of people, so that way she can try to make them feel a little bit at ease, if she's able to do that at all.
Sure. Yeah, you'd probably get most of that from Nima, who's an out and about kind of person, generally speaking. Maybe not right now so much, but generally.
But yeah, that's how she spent most of her time then, just chilling with these people. Unless the crew needs to do like meetings or anything, then of course she's happy to go talk to the rest of them.
Okay.
Funny you should mention Scriff checking in on Yosoki, because I think he'd do that every morning. And you all are going to hear over the comm channel, anyone who has the comms wired up. 5e, did you know that Marani is not restrained right now?
Affirmative.
Is there a reason for this? You know, he tried to kill us earlier.
That is why I am monitoring the patients around the clock. Sol is assisting with off times to ensure that I have adequate shutdown.
Okay. Then why are Twisitch and Feather still tied up?
Oh no.
Ooh.
If you would prefer for me to remove their restraints as well, I am willing to do that. I can prepare alternative sedative solutions in the event of an incident.
As long as you think it's safe, I would like to afford them that luxury. I think it's only fair.
I believe that it is within acceptable parameters of safety.
All right. Thanks. By the way,
thanks, bye.
Anyone who's listening, I have an announcement. If anyone would like to meet the new cat, meet me in my workshop.
We have a dragon and a cat now?
I believe he is referring to the techno tool.
Oh, right.
And so Scriff will undo the binds on Twisitch and Feather, and then securely lock the door.
All right. 5e actually stops you from locking and goes in to prepare more sedative solutions before heading to the laboratory.
Good old knockout juice.
Yeah, I'll be heading there as well. I think I'll try to find Para on the way there, and then I guess like as we're walking in together, Koto will like be mid story and just saying like, you know, I've actually been to a universe where cats were called dogs and dogs were called worms. Oh, I don't know actually. I mean, well, I guess we're about to find out.
You'd love to meet a dog.
Are you even aware of what a dog is?
The opposite of a cat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Giant creature, many mouths.
That is an oversimplified heuristic, but it is essentially true, yes.
Yeah, I go into to meet the new cat.
Yeah, so everyone comes in and it's like, good, you're here. I was up part of the night, most of the night. Okay, I didn't sleep at all last night, but beside the point, I thought I would formally introduce you all to the new cat. Cat, say hello.
Are you just springing this on me?
Yes.
Search to be the galactic manager.
Yeah, we need to figure out a voice for that. I'm like, yeah, okay, just tell me someone you want me to like maybe do an impression of, something like that. That conversation didn't ever finish.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Wow.
My name's the new cat. How you doing, everybody?
Oh God, no.
Christopher Walken.
No,
Everyone's got a Walken.
we have had discussions.
Hi,
We maybe didn't
I'm
settle on
Cat.
something, but
I'm here to help all of you.
Wow, Script Dovetail's armor, amazing. It's amazing. Wow.
It's amazing.
Needs more cowbell.
You got a fever.
Jesus.
I don't know why I tried to drink in the middle of that.
You fool.
That was very
What
foolish on
version
my
is
part.
Cat now, Jeff?
We'll do 22.9.
Hello, I'm Cat, version 22.9. How can I be of assistance?
I will note that Scriff's power armor is the one talking. I integrated it into the system. They are one now. They're the same.
Ah,
I now have new mobility. As they say that, Cargo dashes out of the armor, out of the room, and jets across.
Oh, no, what a surprise. How did it get in here?
Cargo.
Incredible. I will get it later. It'll probably be fine.
Sense motive.
It's okay. I've been thinking about installing a new safety mechanism for activating the armor anyway. And with Cat installed now, I don't think it's going to be a problem. They won't get into any restricted systems.
Pan roll
Good,
bluff.
oh, it's been a while
Small
since.
being pressed many buttons while inside.
Oh,
Oh, so Cat is a knock. Good
Self-destruct
to know.
sequence initiated.
3, 2, 1.
Don't give that. Cargo does not have access to operate you, just so you know.
Understood.
But I think it will be much more helpful now.
It's very impressive, Scriff.
it's been a
luck.
long time since been able to talk.
I've got a few other things as well. If anyone is interested, I think I can install this in most of your armor as well. But
No.
check this out, and Scriff will open up the chest, and inside is like what looks like a defibrillator. As like if someone falls if I fall unconscious, it can resurrect me potentially. I'm still working out the kinks. In-game rules. I have installed an auto CPR unit into the armor.
That's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's really
nice.
useful too.
Very clever.
Wait, but is it only big enough for Scriff?
Well, the armor, yes.
Yes.
The voltage would
The
likely
armor
need to be
back
recalibrated for different species and weights.
Well, Cat's capable of doing that real time if someone is actually operating the armor.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh god. Oh god.
Calculate the cubic root of the Bandela quotient.
Both Tank and Bomber have asked me to calibrate it for their use as well.
It has not answered the question.
Sorry, I missed the question because I was saying something.
He asked for the cubic root of the Bandeli quotient, which is just a made-up, like, scientific
He asked you
principle
for some
number.
rubber physics.
They give you a 6-hour
If I'm
approximate
jealous.
estimation of what that might have been.
Cease audio transmission. I have received the calculations. Thank you. That will be a sufficient demonstration. Cat may, in fact, perform these calculations.
I can install this in any of your armor too if you want. I just need materials to build it.
I will soon control the universe.
Cat, delete
Not at all
last
concerning.
audio.
Wait, that wasn't supposed to be there.
It's going great, guys.
Turning off complete domination protocol.
Thank you.
Super
Well,
robot.
you know, actually, I think I like it now. Sassy.
Suddenly far more interesting.
I have been giving a sense of humor.
It's been too long. Cat used to be able to talk, but there was an issue, and I had to reinstall her. So hadn't had time to work on it until now. So I'm just excited.
Was that Swarkus in punching you or the giant ship crash? I don't remember.
It was the ship crash.
Oh, it was a long time ago then.
Log state, the previous version encountered a virus that required an entire system reset.
Yes.
Oh,
So you have access to all of your previous logs as well? That's really cool.
Well, as much as I could salvage.
Scriff has updated me on versions that I was not privy to.
I had backups. We did lose some data, but it wasn't catastrophic.
Kata.
Would having a cat in my suit help something?
That is my new nickname.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophe.
Wow.
Oh, catastrophe.
Yeah, what would that do for me there, Scriff, if I put cat in my suit?
Well, I can't install cat. There's only one cat. But I can install this auto CPR unit. So if you pass out during a fight, then it can try and resuscitate you.
Does it work on brains?
It does.
Wow.
Does it take the slot of an armor upgrade?
It is an armor slot, yeah.
Okay.
So in game terms, it basically gets to make a medicine check. It doesn't have a great bonus, but it has a chance to resuscitate you without spending a resolve point.
That's
It's a really good armor upgrade.
Yeah.
And it's like a level 1 upgrade
Are
too.
you sure
so
you
it's
wish
super
to
cheap.
do that, Scriff? Do you know how much harder it would be for the GM to kill people if they could auto-revive?
I'm certain that 5e already has better ways to revive himself with all his nanites.
Oh, I know.
Affirmative.
I'll consider it. I'm not sure. I'll have to see any use first.
Just let me know. I've got some free time while we jump through the drift. So if you have any projects, I'm looking for new projects.
Would you be willing to demonstrate it?
Sure.
All right. Grabs a hammer.
Someone get in.
Oh.
There is a safer way to facilitate that demonstration. 5e draws his stun pistol.
Whoa.
And levels it at Scriff and says, "With your permission."
Oh my gosh.
Scriff, you immediately get flashbacks.
This is, you know what? This is day 1 before we've had like a lot of rest. I'll do it. So I'll take the hit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna roll trick attack damage.
I am not rolling back time to save you again. That's fine.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll back the very last full rest that I had. So I was 1 HP
That's
away
totally
from
fine.
full.
Well, you also did say that you didn't get any sleep, so
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
Soul does a Brandon and magic some potato chips into being and just starts munching and watching.
There we go.
I think
Power leans down to Koto and is like, this is new, actually, for me as well.
This is so awesome. I have a trick attack damage checkbox in Foundry now. Thank you, Jeff. That's the first time I get to use it.
I didn't realize
On
that
him.
it wasn't there for a whole year.
On him.
Oh.
So it's 25 stun damage.
So
Electricity
Scriff
damage.
falls unconscious
And the module activates.
and the module activates. And
All right.
so it's got a +5. I don't know what the attempt to revive is.
first aid. The DC of the check is 15.
Oh, not too bad.
Oh,
No.
it
If you succeed at the check, the creature stops dying and becomes stable, or the bleed damage ends. I didn't know it stopped bleed damage. That's f***ing cool.
That's great, actually.
we can narratively just say that it succeeds.
No, it's better if it fails.
We
can
all standing here
narratively-
watching, so it's like, wow, is Scriff dying?
Fear not, I will assist. Attempts. Fear not, I will assist in 24 hours.
There we go. 20. No, next round. It gets to try again. It's next round. So I got a 22.
You know what? I love how that, like, Scriff's fur is all like Tom and Jerry explodes out and they've got like a furry afro because it's been like shocked. Like their whiskers are a bit singed.
I come over and I poke Scriff, also like healing him for 1 HP. Are you awake? Did that work?
A tone emanates
see?
from 5e's audio projector, and it's signaling that a stopwatch has ended, and he says, 7.13 seconds. Not bad.
It's better than nothing.
I think I'm sold. Yeah, that worked great. Install away.
I'm sure that if I practiced, I could get an even faster time.
And Pons holds his arms up.
All right, I guess I'll get to work. Anyone else?
I do not believe that the electromagnetic side effects of this upgrade will be beneficial to me, but thank you for the offer.
Fair enough.
Might be interesting.
I also appreciate the offer, but I'm fully stocked in my armor. Thanks, though.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to die.
Well, the cool thing too is, like Mark was saying, it can also stop bleeding. And since I have a computer interface, I get to add the tier of cat to that check to stop bleeding.
Nice. That's really cool.
I had no idea that first aid stopped bleeding. That is a game changer, seriously.
Bleeding sucks.
Yeah, and it used to. I only thought that magical healing would heal that, but that's really cool.
All right, what are we going to do for the other 5 days?
I was going to take a look at Sworkus, and I was actually going to ask Pons if he would give me some assistance with that. I want to assess just how much trauma Sworkus has undergone. I know he lost his other eye, but are there any other major points of trauma that need to be addressed? What I'm actually thinking in the long term is that we might be able to build an ocular replacement.
Yes.
And I may be able to get Scriff to help me out with that, and we
Laser eyes.
at least rebuild one of his eyes so that he still has vision.
The same thing that 5e has, the laser eye implant.
Yeah, awesome.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
Can you use an extra limb as well? Give the guy another eye.
Let's just start with making him able to see again. And
Also,
go from
isn't
there.
Sworkus down one leg?
Yeah.
Yes. On a natural 20 check, you guys found out he was missing a leg.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is how hard would it be to fashion or purchase, if we have to, a prosthetic leg and an ocular sensor?
The base models of those are pretty cheap, honestly.
Yeah, it's like 100 credits.
So laser eye and laser leg. Got it. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get him some upgrades then.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm happy to just kick money to Scriff and if he'll dip
Same.
into his stash of UPVs.
Yeah, you want 500?
Cyborgus.
Yeah, you guys can absolutely do that.
Sugar Daddy Pawns.
Our glucose guardian.
The biggest problem right now with Sworkus is with that nat 20, Scriff also found out that he is currently in a coma. So that's a bit more of an issue in the long term. But yes, you guys could absolutely upgrade him when he wakes up so he can be the $10 million Vesk.
What if, I have an idea, let's just kill him and then heal him, and then he'll be revived. With magic.
It's actually not the worst plan I've ever heard, but it's up there.
Yeah, that's Jeff trying to abuse the system.
Real time.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't mind seeing what happens if I tried to.
You kill them, and then you revive them.
I wouldn't mind seeing what happens if I tried to absorb
this is rules
Sworkus's body.
free. That's
Absolutely. I'm sorry, that does not work.
Let's just install Sworkus's brain into the ship. He loves the ship.
Into cat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Can we turn Sworkus into our ship's computer? He doesn't need the body anymore.
That is grossly unethical. We are not turning one of my patients into a ship's computer.
I don't like that either. I want to mess around with
I
his
don't want
brain.
to have to do Sworkus's voice for the Twitter, so.
I've regained control of my ship once again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You are the ship, shut up.
No, yeah, let's just wait to do some brain surgery on him at Nurians or something. But for right now, yeah, eye and a leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We can start working on synthesizing the parts and then worry about the installations later when it's more stable and it's safe to do that.
Okay. Sounds good. So you guys start looking him over and figure out the best way to apply these new parts, I guess.
Yeah, basically just parts.
Yeah. Look, at least they're not necrografts.
Oh.
This is true.
They don't stink.
All right, so I'm going to jump forward a day here as you guys work on different things. Soul, as you're walking through the ship, you go to check on the patients in the room. You slide open the door, and you see my Ronnie standing, and he's looking down at Twizzich, the one who has the horn and the patch of skin, and they're just silently standing over them.
Uh-oh. Hey, 5e, do we have some knockout juice?
Just from downtown, a trank dart.
Some sleepy time tea.
5e, always watching.
My assumption is that I do have alerts in place to know if they come back to consciousness, so I'm probably heading that way as soon as I can walk away from Sworkus, but you have a few seconds.
So we'll raise both hands and say, Myrani, welcome back.
They look over at you with this slow turn. Where am I?
You're on board the ship. It's called the Second Hand. It's a terrible name. I've been meaning to talk to them about it, just because something is used, not the point. 5E has been watching over you and keeping you safe. Are you all right? Sorry I was not here when you woke.
I don't think that the term all right has ever applied to me. They look down again at these stricken Yosoki. I'm assuming that you brought these from the moon.
Yes. I'm going to try and help them. Myrani, I'm going to take just a few steps towards him. And again, both hands up, so I'm not looking aggressive. Myrani, there's something I need to say to you.
They look around the room. Well, it seems there is nowhere to go, so I'm all ears.
5e is approaching the medbay, but has stopped to watch this interaction.
And Sol will carefully walk forward and reach out a hand to try and place it on Myrani's arm if he doesn't back away.
You reach out, and as you get close, they don't jerk away, but they do smoothly try to move their hand.
Then I quickly hold my hand back and keep my hands very visible to him. And I say, Myrani, whatever you've done over these past years, you did in the name of survival. Whatever sins you committed were not yours, they were his. And if you have any doubt of that, and they have their mote glow for just a moment, you are blameless. I absolve you. Whatever decisions you make from this moment forward are yours. But for now, you are clean.
Good. I see you are awake. It would be best if you sit. Your body is still recovering. Your electrolytes are unstable, but this should help with that. 5e walks down to a small mini fridge, pulls out a cup from the freezer section that's full of red-colored chips, and says, Snubberry ice chips. As I recall, this is one of your favorite flavors. It will help to soothe your throat until you are able to take liquids. And he offers it to Myrani.
So Myrani's eyes shift from Sol over to 5e as they come in the room, and in answer to what you had said, Sol, if only absolution could come from words. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but whatever I was and whoever I was, and they look down at all the tattoos on their body, has been torn apart and rebuilt, and my destiny has changed. If the Grim Dervish is the thing that stalks in the darkness, I've been built to be the beast that rakes the light. They grab their hand at the wrist, and their body starts shaking. A small ball of unstable lightning begins to form in their hand as a few of the adjacent tattoos begin to glow.
Oh, no.
And it remains there for just a second before it bursts and static shock goes through the whole room.
5e reaches for the sedative gun nearby as a precaution.
I'm going to roll something real quick.
Does that affect the ship at all?
So it's the type of static shock that makes your hair stick together a little bit. It's not anything that would affect the ship in any way.
You continue to be impressive. And Sol's just going to go smile and sit down at the edge of his bed, not looking bothered.
As 5e pulls up the sedative gun, their eyes never leave your faceplate. In our 5e, I asked you before why you came back, and I need to know the truth. Why come back after so long? Why would you come back after the Kerdans were killed right in front of you and you stood there and did nothing? You watched them die as I was dragged away.
My programming and circuitry were not up to the task of facing the Grim Dervish and his minions. It is a point of severe regret. But you are, now, and always will be until the moment of your adulthood, my primary protectee. I have spent every moment since I lost my data cores trying to recover those memories, to see that you are safe. And I do so because your mother and your father are the closest thing to a family that I ever had. They were more than simply masters, more than simply secondary protectees. Olivier and Lassynth, they cared for me. They taught me what it means to care for others. They led through actions, through example, not, as you say, through mere words. And I have every confidence that you will do the same.
Go ahead, roll diplomacy. And I'll say, Sol, you can assist because you were part of this conversation.
It's a 14.
Okay, you assist.
18 with an assist pushes it to 20.
20. Okay. So as you say this, you see around the 3 black eyes, they start to quiver a little bit, like they're trying to hold back emotions. Why do you think I need a caregiver now? My childhood ended that day. Father spared me and gave me a purpose, but I am not so blind or so childish not to know what he is, what cruelty he brings. I know that he's a monster, and I know that I am one too. So why did you even come to this moon? Why didn't you leave me to the fate I so deserve?
Because no one deserves such a fate. Because you have the opportunity to change your future, even if you cannot change your past. I will not force you to stay here, but you are considered a minor under the law. If you will not accept me as your caregiver, then I must find someone else who is suited to the task. I will not restrain you. I will not force a choice from you. I offer you only opportunities within the boundaries of my programming. Your destiny is your own.
Irony, dear heart, will you come sit with me for just a moment?
They look over at you, and you don't see them make any move towards you. Listen, I appreciate what you're trying to do. I got your message when we were on the moon, but I wasn't the only one, and I appreciate that you all came to the manor for me. But he looks over at the two of you. All you've done here is make yourselves targets. He'll come after me again, and he will cut through all of you to do it happily. In his story, you're the ones who took what's his.
I should point out that helping you would not have rescued us from that fate. Our involvement with Script Dovetail has already ensured that the Dervish will come after us. So why not make him more of an enemy in an attempt to help you? The Dervish operates on principles of fear. He does not understand that my programming does not allow for fear. I am not afraid of him, and neither should you be.
Sol rises from where they're sitting, seeing that he's not coming over, and walks up and holds out their forearm wrist up to him, and kind of gives 5e a bit of a glare. Like, they clearly do not want 5e here for this. But then they focus on Myrani again. Say, look at this, will you? Really look. And at first, of course, you see what you expect to see. The gray skin, the crystalline quality of it. It looks like there's diamonds or fragments of ice all over their skin, and the flashing gold and black tattoos. But there's one particular line that most people notice across the black tattoo that isn't quite straight. It's deliberately not straight to hide the fact that it's going over a large piece of scar tissue. And once you see the one, you see all of them. Dozens of cuts and punctures and burns all across their arms, hidden in plain sight between the tattoos and the augment. You look at the scars, but you don't see them. And Sol waits for the reaction, because there's always a reaction.
Sol, why don't you go ahead and give me a diplomacy roll at this point?
And I'm going to use my Charming Curiosity, which will let me roll 2 and take the high. The first one's a 23, so that's pretty good. 23.
Oh, sweet.
They look down at your arms, seeing these scars for the first time, and they look down at their own. And you can tell they're on the verge of, like, asking you questions about what happened. And then tears just start streaming.
So we'll reach out again to, try and put a hand on their back, unless they shy away.
Yeah, this time you catch them in the act of just sitting down on the closest cot, and they don't even try to move. They're just enveloped in their emotion.
Sol, as always, has more to say, but we'll just sit with them and try to pull them into an embrace and give them as long as they need. But look across at 5e with a look like you'd best not say anything.
5e's mouth on the LED display turns into a zipper.
While still holding the trank gun.
Yeah.
Train gun's definitely down at this point. 5e will make a point of checking the other patient's vitals and then start up a food synthesizer for something conducive to someone who's been out for a few days for getting nutrients back into their body.
Fiber.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead and move away from this moment as we travel through the drift.
So I think one of the other days during our travels, Scriff will message 5e and Para and say, or message Para and CC 5e.
Blind copy.
And say, Para, I'd like to sit you down and have a discussion about your, I guess they're your father or your progenitor. I want to know more about them and what it means to be following them. Do you have a moment?
Of course. I will meet you in your workshop if you prefer.
Sure.
5e will calm Scriff directly on a private channel and say, "Did you want me to join this conversation?"
You are welcome to, but you may sit it out if you wish. I hope to learn more about the promise we made.
Perhaps Sol can keep an eye on the patients for a bit. They seem to have Marani well in hand. I will join you. 5e heads to the lab.
So once we're all together, Scriff says, first of all, I would like to know the name of this being that you came from, if you know it.
So as you bring this question up to Para, it feels almost as if the knowledge was already there and it just comes to the forefront of your mind. It comes through as a word that you can understand. Maybe the true name is something that is beyond mortals, but parallaxis pops into both of your minds.
So I was just wondering what the name never mind. Realization dawns upon Scriff. Oh,
I guess the conversation's done now. And just get up and walk away.
I mean,
Okay, well, I will be in the med bay.
I don't know. Like, this is like the IT thing where they're there and you can't show them the problem because it's suddenly fixed. Like, just maybe your presence has enabled me to know the answer to the question I was about to ask. But so you're, for lack of a better term, I'm just going to keep calling them your father, is parallaxis.
Gender is for a different kind of being, but a father is fine. I prefer father and progenitor to daddy, so...
Agreed.
But yes. But yes, parallaxis is my progenitor's given moniker. I apologize if I have led the two of you into something beyond yourselves, but in the moment, it seemed we had no choice. If I have shackled you to something that may do you harm, have my word, I would not allow any harm to befall either you two or the rest of the crew. I have seen enough already.
I do not question your loyalty, nor do I regret the choice that I made. The terms outlined by this parallaxis were completely in keeping with the core tenets of my own ethical programming.
Agreed. Nothing they have done to us I have seen in a negative light. I simply wish to learn more about what it means to be pledged to the service. Like many other followers of faith, do they have a symbol of sorts?
Para takes a long look at Scriff and 5e, and they close their eyes, which leaves their face, for want of a better word, as just a formless mass of black. And then slowly, green pinpricks appear over their face, almost like a constellation, which then begin to form into a sigil of sorts. It's a round image with an intricate spiderweb of connecting lines. These could represent connecting fates in time. It's not sure, but that's what you guys see. This circle with a kind of a messy spiderweb within, and then just one line straight down the middle of it.
Ah, interesting.
And then they all wink out, and Para's eyes reappear, large and green insectile. I hope this has helped in some way. I can only... Memory is a strange thing. I am trying.
No, this is very helpful. 5e, maybe you would be interested in this, but given our pledge, I thought it would be appropriate to make a symbol to display on my person.
I am not against the idea.
That's awesome.
You wish to show deeper fealty.
If only to understand further what it means to have fealty to Pahhradox. Yes.
Understood. I felt no hostility. I have no reason to believe that this Pahhradox is truly my progenitor, and if so, has hopefully good things in mind for us. Plus, if you are in his service, then that makes you almost like cousins, which is nice.
That is nice. Always happy to see the family expand.
Ah, yes.
all
Scriff's
we
family
need.
grows.
Yeah, Pa looks out the door at all the children.
Starting a collection.
Well, I think I'm going to... Never been much for praying, but I think I'm going to try. I don't know if either of you are interested in meditating or joining me.
It would seem to me that if this parallaxis has something to communicate to us, it is more than capable of reaching out to us on its own terms. I do not believe that my subroutines are geared for prayer, as you put it. However, I will take images of the symbol from my permanent data core and see if I can conduct some cultural research. Perhaps I can divine more information about the nature of this being.
I have some schematics that I've been meaning to put into practice. I'm hoping that they will shed some new light. Once I've crafted one, you can decide if you want one as well.
By all means, I am always interested in your designs.
And the rest of the day, Scriff spends crafting this new item, and in game terms, it is a sacred seal. But this one is not devoted to any of the deities in the official Starfinder book. This one is devoted to Pahhradox, and so Scriff makes it in the symbol of the spider web with the connecting lines of fate with the straight line, as Para described it. And the next day, when it's all finished, you'll see Scriff around the ship, and he just looks a little different. This symbol is prominently displayed on his chest. It looks like it's almost embedded into his chest, like it's glowing through his clothes.
Wait, are we fully getting
Tony
the
Stark?
Scriff Iron Man scene?
Right?
Fully, yeah. We're going
AC/DC
full-
starts playing.
Yeah, except
type of
it's
reactors in there?
the symbol that Para described, yes. And there's something else different about Scriff. It seems that this item has slightly physically altered his appearance, and he just looks almost like he's been drenched in pomade.
Okay.
Oh no!
And he's done his best to style his fur, but he doesn't know how. This is new. Like, he's never used hair
He's
gel
just
before.
constantly wet now?
He's
He looks like a
constantly
wrestler.
slightly wet.
Wow.
Oh god! Is this the sexy Scriff
Right?
arc?
Well, how do his siblings react to this? Are they like impressed or?
It was already the sexy Scriff arc. Can we just say?
Like, whoa,
He's like
bro.
tried to
licking yourself
spike
too hard.
his fur a little bit and on
Yeah,
the top.
absolutely. Having seen Koto's hair, the twins try to put your hair up into a mohawk.
Yeah, Scriff definitely goes to some of his more fashionable siblings to try and get help managing this new look.
Oh, darling, come here.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying out something
I
new.
can see. Do you have a comb?
No.
Double mohawk!
That sounds fun.
No.
If you require a different type of shampoo, I believe I can create a lipid solvent to get rid of some of that grease.
I think it's a side effect of the symbol.
what is
Actually,
that? It
won't
doesn't
go
matter.
away. I tried washing, and I'm like instantly greasy, like that movie, The Santa Claus. Except
feel mildly
instead of a beard,
offended.
it's
What a deep cut!
No, Soul will spend however many hours are necessary to just comb and recomb and try to make this work.
yeah. Eventually, we get it passable. But yeah, Scriff is like looking like. Just looks like he's always got product now all over his fur.
This is an unusual side effect of my patron, but
Yeah, right. The patron of pomade.
I don't know. I think it looks good on your Scriff.
I'm gonna try it out and see what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Para, you had mentioned that Scriff was kind of like a cousin now, and with this, they also have this like feel of gelatiny ooziness, so it's like even closer. Not that kind of ooziness.
I temporarily grow the same hairstyle in solidarity.
Awesome.
I look at 5e.
wait.
Do you want to get on this 5e?
I can make one for you too, 5e.
I do not believe that I require extra lubrication. I have been applying my industrial solutions as indicated by my factory instructions.
Oh, I was meaning more the holy symbol, but it.
Oh, I was meaning the hair actually, Scriff.
I feel something like I don't know if it's the new look, but I feel like I could, harness some of this power. And like Scriff reaches out and just picks up like a random tool in his workshop.
While you do that, give me a perception roll, Jeff.
So this is from Para Daddy. What happens when Para touches the greasy Scriff?
Para's not sure if this is from Para Daddy or just Scriff went real ham on hair products.
That's a 16.
Okay, you notice a few of the tools are missing from the shop.
But wait, some things are not in the haphazard places that I put them.
Wasn't me.
Like, this pile is smaller than it's supposed to be. Has someone been getting into my tool chest?
See one of the twin just like run away. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Do we have a security camera wired in that laboratory at all that we could review footage?
I was the twin. He's run off.
Cat, has anyone been in the workshop without my authorization?
Cat looks down at itself. The only one that has come in here is the small reptilian creature.
Oh no.
Small reptilian creature. The cargo? I almost forgot that they're a dragon. I was like, they're a cat.
Dragons are cats.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to hunt down a bunch of tools now. Great. Okay. Anyway, picks up one of the other tools.
No, that one's missing too. Pick a different one.
Dang it.
That particular one.
Just rests his hands on the table and like lets out a deep sigh and accidentally channels the energy into the table.
So Scriff, in frustration, smacks the table, his work table, and before the eyes of everyone that's there, you see it begin to change. You see rust begin to form at the corners. Chunks of it begin to fall away, and it deteriorates until it looks as if it's been sitting out in the desert for years.
Pashang. It's going to take all day to clean the rust off of this.
Scriff, I feel it is more important to notice that you have just performed chronokinesis.
What now?
I think you're right.
I am definitely right. The table is... I'm going to put my palm over it. This has been aged at least 100 years. You are going to need a new table.
I've got enough projects.
Table collapses.
No.
It's okay, I can... Oh, never
And the
mind.
tools are gone for me to fix it. Okay, I need to go find cargo.
Do be careful how you apply that to things around the ship.
Noted.
I believe the likelihood of my accepting one of those symbols has just fallen dramatically.
I understand. But the hair, though, we can still work on that.
Agreed.
So,
Perhaps Sol can consult
just a little
with him.
taming, it'll be fine.
Sol will definitely have some nice hair.
Hans is just pushing a food cart around and handing out snacks. And here you go. And
Cheese
here you
cart?
are.
Jet blue steward.
Actually, can I real quick just ask 5e, actually, because 5e, can you do this also? Or is it perhaps only the power of the sigil?
I believe it is linked to the power of the sigil and the specific combination of mystical and technological approaches that Scriff has incorporated into the design. However, that is merely conjecture.
Par's just like watching Scriff leave and going, cousins.
All right, who's next?
I've gained so much. I've watched life and death, and I've gained a family.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to steal you for another moment.
Of course.
So, Sol has corralled Para to sit at a table and is just sitting across from them with a matte black deck sitting between them. And Sol's got their fingers laced and their chin on top of their fingers and has just been staring at Para for an uncomfortably long amount of time. Just very focused.
Pahhradox don't blink. It's therefore they have grown themselves a similarly scriff-like coiffure.
Oh no.
That's very cute. All right. And they pick up the deck and quickly shuffle it and set it back down. I want you to think about the bigger part of you that's out there, that thing that spoke to us. The bigger... How does that work? Is that offensive?
My progenitor. We have discovered that it is named Pahhradox.
Interesting. I want you to think of this Pahhradox. Are you thinking of them?
Understood.
Now, and they slide the deck forward. I want you to cut the deck, and they very quickly drag it back. Do not...
Power's arm comes up in a sword.
Wait.
An unusual request, but as you wish.
That is a figure of speech. Do not damage my cards. I want you to, while thinking of this Pahhradox, take half the cards off, and put them to the side, and put the other half on top. That's called cutting the deck.
I see. Understood. So yeah, they reach out. It's fine. They reach out. They cut the deck, set it aside into 2 parts.
Well done. And then they'll quickly stack them back on top and say, all right. And they're going to deal out this very spooky, creepy, kind of matte black horror imagery deck. The first one is...
Actually, before we bring it up, Power wants to stop Soul for a second. Says, these cards can tell my future.
They can hint at the future. Do you have questions? I can...
They're not allowed to pick up the cards. Actually, they reach for the pile to try and pick one up. Does Soul stop them?
Yeah, take a look. Do not damage my cards. This is a new deck.
I have been practicing. I can now pick things up without even getting them dirty or clean.
We need to discuss that in a moment.
Oh, God.
And they're going to just pluck a card at random and just kind of hold it, bend it. They're looking at it from every edge.
2 of Swords.
The 2 of Swords is what
Yes.
it's called. This card is 2 swords. What does that mean?
Oh, well, the 2 of Swords is a beginning. It is the first step in a journey. Swords are typically a card of nobility, which I'm rather fond of, being a sword user myself, but can also mean aggression or thought. It's fast-moving. Any of that ring true to you?
Perhaps. They put the card back down, and they stare at Soul for a long while.
This particular 2 of Swords is a kind of nightmarish abstract figure crouched on top of 2 swords driven into the ground, staring off in a weird, blurred motion. Perhaps this is more interesting since you did grab it yourself. It means be at peace with your decisions and don't look back.
Looking back is the problem. I cannot.
So, you mentioned you can touch things now without making them... Does that apply to... They hold up their arms. Tattoos?
I believe so. I should not have any problem touching you if you need to.
Let's just... And they're going to offer up the black tattoo on the inside of their upper arm. Just give that a poke. Let's see. Let's test it.
Power reaches out and, with one very long, spindly finger, gives him a poke in the arm. And then the finger kind of melts onto their arm. It's like a warm, grip.
A wax.
Yeah. And then they release it, and you are still tattooed.
What do you say to a little experimentation?
I am always willing to learn, of course.
They will stand up quickly, square up the cards, tuck them away in their pockets, and reach for Para's hand and kind of pull them up. 3 rules, darling. First, my headband never comes off. Second, don't tell anyone what you find in my pants. And third, if there's anything you don't enjoy, just let me know and we'll figure out something else, yes?
What? What is this proposition?
Power looks at them again for a long time. And then says, understood.
All right, let's see if we can kick any Yosuke out of the room.
What is going on?
You have to relocate 3 of them.
Just an hour, more than an hour. We'll be back. Sock on the door.
Oh my. Okay, while that's happening, Jeff, go ahead, give me a perception roll as you look for cargo.
22.
Okay. This is basically while that conversation was happening. So you look around the ship for a little while, and then you notice when you're in the cargo area, part of the wall has been pulled away, and you remember that there was a smuggler's hatch. And you see that to the smuggler's hatch, it's been opened a little bit, and there's this gap.
Cargo, are you in here? Come on out, little dragon.
You look down and you peer inside.
I need my
and you
tools.
see Cargo sitting on top of a pile of just all sorts of different things from the ship. There's like some medical supplies. There's a wrench. Yeah, there's some of Pon's books. Like there's just a pile of stuff that it's laying
Who's
on
got
top
a
of.
little hoard? You got a little hoard.
Get him some gold or something.
It's up to you what you do with it.
I don't know. Like, I know dragons always hoard something. I don't know what this one is hoarding other than just stuff, but that's okay. I'm just gonna look and look for the specific tools that I need to rebuild the table. Now that I know where everything is, be like, can I borrow this? And I'm gonna reach and just slowly see if they will allow me to take one thing out of the pile.
Okay, for fun, why don't you go ahead and roll sleight of hand?
Okay,
This is just how gingerly can you get this away from this little dragon.
that's a 12.
So you reach out and you put one of your paws on the tool, and you just hear a little, and then you pick your hand up, and it stops. And you put your hand down again, you hear,
This is so cute.
Cargo, this isn't yours. Look, okay, I'll bring it back, okay?
roll diplomacy.
I'm trying to reason with a baby dragon. Also a 12.
So Cargo stands up a little bit on its stubby little legs. It looks at you. Its eyes narrow a bit. And then its tail whips around and smacks the tool, and it like slides away.
Okay, hold on. I'll go find something to replace it with, okay? We can trade. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try and find, like, something shiny.
Okay. Yeah, you go into the kitchen area, and you find a little teapot, and you bring that back down, and you basically do the Indiana Jones thing, where you pick up the wrench and replace it with the teapot.
I'm gonna hold it out, like, show them, like, look. Ooh, it's a teapot. Look. You add it to your hoard.
Its
I'll
eyes
trade
are
you.
tracking with it.
I'm gonna, like, lift it up high to make them change their gaze to focus on the teapot as I reach down low to grab the tool I need. And then I let them take the teapot and I walk away with the tool.
And as you walk away, you take a glance back and you see the teapot that was just kind of sitting in the entrance. Two little paws come and like drag it back into the hatch.
I message everyone. So the dragon does like to hoard things. If you're missing anything, look in the hatch in the cargo bay.
Acknowledged.
So far, it seems to be random.
Does it have my fruit?
You should check. There was a lot of stuff.
Does it have my orchide? Does it have my lighter?
I may have seen some of those things inside of you.
Everything.
Oh, lost all this stuff? We're just asking randomly as we got this and the other.
It belongs to cargo now.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to do on this trip, or should I jump it to the end here? How you guys feeling?
Sol will come find Scriff after he's solved the tool problem, and is kind of flipping through their data pad. Scriff, could you do me a favor? Could you look at something and tell me if it makes any sense to you?
Sure.
And they flip through what look like a couple sketches, and then pull up and flip around to what looks like a very scientific and intricate drawing of a crystal, and it's got like periodic table elements listed and just very impressive, intense designs. Does this make any sense? Could you make this thing based off this?
Let's see here. Oh, yes, I can do this.
That makes sense to you. Brilliant. And they just look towards the nearest hatch. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I can have it for you by the end of the day.
It would be wonderful. Give me a...
Right.
Now comes the Iron Man scene.
Yeah, so Scriff will take the designs, and you're welcome to stay if you want. I will get to work. And he pulls down a handful of tools and stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm missing my spanner. Can you go check the cargo bay and see if
I'll go make a trade.
cargo has it?
Trade.
All right, I'll do what I can without it, and he'll start working on it and putting together this crystal. He sets up a this crucible for forging UPBs into a gem shape.
And this as well. And they just also just a little chip to go in the brain. It's totally fine. That's the afterthought as they run off to try and get an item.
Oh, no problem.
Scriff, mechanical mastermind.
They come back a while later with like a bite mark. All right, I think this is what you needed.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I'll make it work. Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong size.
I didn't want to go that far.
And with that, we will jump forward to the end of your drift travels. As you come back out of the drift, you guys are now in packed world space.
Woo.
It's been quite a while for some of you.
Home sweet home.
You were given directions to head to the upper atmosphere of Triaxis and hail the sun siren. The second hand moves over towards Triaxis, and you send your message out to the sun siren. As you pull down into the upper atmosphere of this cloud-covered planet, and on your radar you do detect this large ship. It's not quite as big as, say, the generational goblin ship, but it is quite sizable still. You get this response back from your message, and on the dashboard it blinks that someone is trying to communicate with you.
Pick up comms. This is the second hand.
Ah, second hand! Welcome to the Pact Worlds. I am Commander Vin Harkion of the Interspace Defense Force and Captain of the starship Sun Siren. A meeting was requested of us, and so we all find ourselves here. Tell me, what can we do for you? And we'll see you in the next chapter!
Yeah.
Like it. Double, please.
Yeah.
After show.
When life drains you down, charge up on the Emergency Power Network. Theme song Triangles by Diamond Ace. Find them at bandcamp.com. Music provided by Nicholas Judy of Dark Fantasy Studio at darkfantasystudio.com and Tabletop Audio. Find them at tabletopaudio.com. As well as Carl Casey of White Bat Audio. Find them at whitebataudio.com. Font Azonics by Mixo. Find them on Twitter at MixoFX. The Starfinder role-playing game, including its official lore and images, are the intellectual property of Paizo Incorporated. All rights reserved. Narrated by Danny Lee Collins.